Cannon Busters is a newly released anime series by Netflix. Now, this is based on the fantasy comic book series by LeSean Thomas. This series was published by Devil's Due and Udon Comics. There are only 3 issues. Issue number 0 was a San Diego Comic-Con 2004 exclusive, and the next 2 issues were published the following year. Unfortunately, the series was never finalized. In 2014, he started a Kickstarter where he wanted to actually adapt the series into an anime. Last year, Manga Entertainment picked up the series. So now the first season is here. And in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to let you know if this anime is worth your time or not. So stay tuned. They're good. First, it's important to point out who LeSean Thomas is. He is the producer of the show, the writer of the show, the creator of the whole story. But he's been involved in animation and comic book series and as a creator for many years. He has worked with Disney. He has done work with Cartoon Network, with Warner Brothers. He has done work with Nickelodeon, Adult Swim. He has also done a lot of character design for movies like Ultraviolet and also comic book art with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, among so many others. And you can feel that influence of everything he has done in the past, all his work, but also inspiration from some newer stuff. Cannon Buster is a show that is full of fantasy, cyberpunk, steampunk, and mecha influence. He takes a lot of inspiration from, I would say anime, famous anime like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Desert Punk, Gurren Lagann, Battle Angel Alita. You can see the influence, even the dimensions throughout the show, but also from American animation like Avatar, Afro Samurai, Thundercats, and also video games like Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, and fantasy RPGs. So you can feel all that influence, and it brings a concoction that is full of love and the work that he has done. He has not only produced this by himself, he has been helped by other people like Tim Young, who is a fellow producer. He did the work with Legend of Korra, but has also worked with Warner Brothers Animation, and a comic book artist, Joe Madureira, who did a lot of the character design for the, in this case, the anime. So all of this influence, all of this love, it's a love letter to a lot of those things, and you can feel it. It really makes the show shine. And I think a big part of the I would say, thing that I love about the show is the fact that LeSean Thomas was able to bring his dream together and really push the show. And because of this is a love letter to a lot of this influence, you can feel it in every single aspect of the animation. You can feel it in the stories. It is a very fast-paced story. It has some ups and downs at some point. It goes a little bit emotional, but it has a little bit of a lessons going on around here and there. And that's what I like. It's good when you see an anime, in my opinion, where there's some ups and downs and it goes personal. There are actually episodes that are specifically designed just to build the other characters around the main protagonist, who is Philly the Kid. But you also have Sam and Casey. Those are bots. Casey is probably the heart of the show. She's a repair bot, but she's trying to fit in. She's trying to feel useful. Now, Sam, she is pretty much not only the protagonist, but is the center of the story. There's a lot of secrets around her, but she's very sweet. She's very loving. She cares about Prince Kelby, with Prince Toji in this case the comic book series, and definitely there's a lot of stuff going on. The story starts technically in a kingdom that is taken over by a figure that is looking actually to control magic. So Prince Kelby, who is the heir of the throne, has to escape with his in this case his guard, who is Odin, and they have to evade in this case the people are the enemies that they are persecuting them, and they chasing them down. But at the same time, Sam finds Casey and Philly the Kid, who is actually an immortal figure, and there's not much story or backstory of what's happening with Sam. We know that there is something happened to him, the reason why he's immortal, and there's a lot of anger in his life. They get into this pretty much a band of misfits, and they trying to save the day. There's other characters like Nine, who is a Ronin, a drunken Ronin, who is very fun. I really love him. And definitely Bessie, who is in this case the car, the vehicle, who is the mecha of the show. but there's a lot of influence, and I love the story in itself, how it kind of flows through it, and it's not definitely a show for kids. There's some mature content, but it really flows well, and it feels a lot like some older anime of the early 2000s, so it does feel like that, and I really love it. Before I forget, I want to let you know one thing I love about this show is the intro song. It is just perfect. It has this classic anime style, it has the flavor of it, and I really like it. It definitely good. Every episode I was looking forward to actually to listen to it again. Actually, I put it again, I watch it again a couple of times because it is good. I like it. Actually, I do. It really fits well. I've seen some reviews where people are saying that they don't like it, which it depends. I think it's a matter of perspective or a personal opinion, but it does feel like anime, and it feels like it fits right with the show. So I love it. The bad. Now it's time to talk about the bad. Yes, I do love the animation on this show. It is perfect. I love all the influence that has been taken on from all the different animes or past animes and animation. But at the same time, one of the biggest drawbacks, one of the biggest, I would say, problems with the show is the fact that because it is a love letter to so many things, it runs the risk of feeling like it's nothing in itself at all. Like it's not its own thing. It has a lot of influence from this, from that, and you can feel it all the time. You can even, get the homage to things and the Easter eggs and all that kind of stuff. But the show feels like it's trying to gain ground. But it never gets to the point where you want to, I would say, this first season to end. It's getting there, but it's doing it slowly. And that can be a bit of a drag because there's so much stuff thrown into it that it doesn't have its own personal voice like other shows. So to me, that's something that it might be the effect of everything has been put into it and the love letter to a lot of different things. But not necessarily makes the story as compelling as I would say concise and unique in itself. It does feel like in some cases it might feel like a generic story of so many based on some classic stories. Another issue with the show could be the pacing. Sometimes, like, again, it can go up and down. I really like the fact that it goes deep into some of the characters. You want that development in the characters. But at the same time, it's kind of slow. It's a slow drag at times where it's not getting where you want it to go. You want every episode to end up in some action scene. But not every episode ends on that term. And it's still trying to develop. The characters there's a lot of obscurity in these characters. You don't know exactly what's happening behind. You know that there's a lot of stuff, they carry a lot of baggage, but you want to know exactly why. Of course, it's taking its time. You have to consider that with anime, it's not like animation, American animation or Western animation, because it takes time to build up. It is building up, but definitely at first, for a lot of people that are not experienced with anime, it might feel like a drag just to get to that place. But it takes its time. It's taking its time just to develop. But definitely at times it might feel a bit slow and draggy. So it is another, I would say, disappointment. In conclusion, there's not really much I can say that I can complain about the show. I really like it. I really have fun with it. It does have a lot of things. There's a lot of imagery. There's a lot of influence here and there. But it doesn't make the story boring in the end. Yeah, it drags sometimes, but it doesn't drag to the point that you just don't want to keep watching. I was watching the entire series. I watched it all in one sitting because I was really enjoying it. And I was enjoying the music. And I went back and listened to it again. I think it is a great triumph for LeSean because he really put so much work into it, so much heart into it, and the fact that he's able to see his baby being fully developed into this show, and the expectation of a second season definitely is in the air. I really like it. It's not perfect. Sometimes the animation might be at the best, and sometimes the animation might be okay, but definitely it's working through the paces, and it's setting the stage, it's setting the foundation for something better. Some of the best shows, I would say, some of the best anime took time to really get to the point that they needed to be. Sometimes the first season was kind of, I would say, a little bit of a drag, but then of course season 2, season 3, and so on, they got better and better. And I feel that this is kind of following the same trend. It's just setting the stage so it can get better as time goes along. The last episode, it really leaves the door wide open for a lot of things to happen, and that's good. I like that, because now I'm expecting to watch the next season, because I want to watch it. I wanted to know more about these characters and why is it that they are in the situation they're in. Why is it that Philly the Kid is an immortal? Why is it that Sam is a cannon buster? What is the point? Where Casey comes from? Things like that, and what's going to happen with who is the villain, and why the villain became a villain. Things like that. There's a lot of unknowns, and I love that part of the show. So definitely, if I have to give this anime series a score, I would say it's at 7.5 out of 10, which means to me, in my book, that is very good. Now, of course, every person has a different point of view. If you compare this to so many others, you might find it lesser than others, but I like it because of what it is. It is fun entertainment. It is, I wouldn't say, even though there's some slow moments, it's never fully, totally slow. You are entertained from the first episode to episode number 12. I just found the whole show entertaining. But that's my opinion. What is yours? I would like to hear it. So once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and to hit the notification button. Let me know how you feel about the show. Do you watch it? Do you like it? Are you planning to watch it? Definitely, I would say I would recommend it for you to do it. If you love this type of shows, you're gonna have fun with it. If you're not really too versed into anime, I think this is a good start into anime as well, because it does have a lot of American Western animation influence in it. But once again, my friends, God bless, take care, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.